So, kings and queens, welcome back to another episode of A New Perspective. Today, we're joined by Isaiah Melvin. And yeah, we're going to talk about a few different things here. First one, I believe, is transitioning workplaces and the different hurdles with that. I've known Isaiah for a long time. We used to do track together, and this kid's a beast. But yeah, if you want to share anything about yourself or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm Isaiah Melvin. I've known Nate for almost 11 years now. So we have some history. I used to do track and field basketball, majored in computer science in school. Now I work with New York Life as a financial professional. And now I'm here on the LTC podcast. Finally, this has been in the works for a long time. I remember when you started it and you sent me the merch. And I was like, yeah, this looks good. And now I'm here finally.
I'm gonna stop you there. As much as I appreciate the compliments, that merch was dusty. It was clapped.
Bro, I gotta support though. I gotta support my guy.
I appreciate it. I need to swap out the flag for the new logo. Honestly, it look a lot better.
Bro, send me one. I gotta post one next time I come on. This is not gonna be my last time on. I'm gonna come on this time. We'll run it back. I need some merch to rep on the pod.
I'll get you some stuff. We've been working on some stuff for, I don't know, a year and a half or so. Just kind of off and on. Haven't put any of it out. So yeah, we'll hook you up.
Yeah, I'll test it out for you. I mean, but I make anything look good though. That's the thing though. If you put something on me, it's gonna look good.
That's the thing, T. He could be one of the models that we need, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, Isaiah. See, I was just about to say, Isaiah has the confidence of a king, bro. He you just heard it. He was like, "I'll look good in anything." I was like,
"You gotta believe."
Okay.
You don't believe in yourself? Who's gonna? No,
I believe it, bro. I believe it. I definitely believe it. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, and also for those 5 people watching the video version of this, when Isaiah said he does track and stuff, you can see that he knows what he's doing because behind him is literally a wall full of achievements.
Don't make me pull out my bin. I got a lot of ribbons in there.
A lot of
yeah. So I think he knows what he's doing.
I'm a competitor for sure. I'm a competitor on the track, on the basketball court, on the field, and just in life. I'm a winner.
I'll share my first memory of Isaiah before we get into it. So we were at a practice, and I've already been doing this for a couple years by now, about a year or so, and he shows up to a practice out of random. It's okay, we get new kids all the time, whatever. So I'm practicing high jump. We all have our marks. We're taking it seriously, practicing, and this kid's like, I think I could do that. Walks over, doesn't even get a mark, and he just easily I think he even scissor jumped the height we were trying to jump. And it was so embarrassing.
Scissor jump the high jump?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This kid could scissor jump ridiculously high. Our coach, I think is, I want to say he's 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", or something. He's jumped over his head. He's jumped over his head.
In conclusion, Isaiah is somebody you want on your side. That's what we're trying to say.
I'm a winner. You want me on your team for sure.
This man carried Valley Speedsters among a few of us, but this man carried, and not just one event like myself. He carried a lot of them.
Hey man, that was definitely a good time. Some good memories. We got to get the game back together, man. We got to get Patrick on here.
Yeah, but you'll never beat me in javelin still. I'm rusty and I'm dusty, but nah.
We're gonna see about that. Post that as a YouTube or something when I beat you. We gotta set it up. No, talk is cheap. I've been in the gym. I've been working out.
I have too.
Pizza.
Curling. No, Pat. Have you seen Pat's recent throws? He's killing it.
Really? No, I haven't seen any numbers.
He's doing it at Cornell. I forget what his last few numbers were, but he's blowing it out of the water.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so transitioning careers. I've done a lot of that myself. I know, Isaiah, you mentioned you have as well.
Yeah, I've switched jobs a few times in my short professional life. And I think it's something that's going on a lot. A lot of people are, especially with COVID, a lot of people figured out that they kind of have power to the people. You know, you don't have to let your employer kind of boss you around. You can figure out the content of a job, that something that you're motivated by, challenged by, and something that you're not just doing for money, but something that you can actually be passionate about. And people are kind of taking that flexibility, not just for working, but I've seen a lot of people just using the virtual platform to be able to travel and just enjoy life more.
I mean, that was a big thing through COVID, like especially the passionate part. Like everybody kind of turned to their passions and started finding things they enjoyed. And whenever we talk about like the virtual platform itself, like podcasting blew up. I mean, I started listening to podcasts a couple months before COVID even hit, and now there's just so many people doing it now, and us included. But that was part of like what I did during COVID. You know, I worked on the book and started the podcast and the brand and everything.
It gives people space. I think it's something that changed everybody's life. I mean, hopefully for the better. I mean, a lot of people had tough times, but that freedom is something that was huge. And I was cyber school all through high school, so like it was kind of good to get people to see the other side of things that I've been doing for so long. But
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you did. I've seen you smile. I was like, you forgot I was cyber school? Come on, bro. I'm the OG.
I cybered starting in 6th grade all the way through high school.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, and it was an incredible moment when it finally hit people, that everyone who always said, "Oh, you have it so easy. You get to do school at home." And everybody who didn't do it before was struggling. Yes. I had people hit me up like, "How do you do this? I need schedules. Like, can you hook me up with something? Can you kind of give me an edge on how to do this and everything?" It's like, yeah, no, you got to have like some self-discipline. You actually got to do the stuff yourself.
Online classes are not easy. Like, okay, let me rephrase that.
That's where I thrive.
Online classes are not as easy as you'd think if you don't have self-discipline. So that's the truth right there. It could be super, like if you could set a schedule for yourself every day and like allocate time, it's a piece of cake. But if you don't have like, what's the term we're looking for?
Like self-accountability.
Yeah, if you don't, yeah, exactly. If you don't have that and like a sense of just like self-accountability, yeah. you're gonna be lost basically, because like everything's gonna mount up on you like last second, and it's not gonna be fun.
Yeah, that's fair. And I think that's like when the COVID hit, especially, and a lot of people started working from home, I think that was probably a big struggle too there, was people getting used to. And now, you know, I mean, it had a lot of its benefits. I know employers are majority wise are trying to get back to getting people in the offices and stuff. But I think, you know, being able to work from home, or at least on a hybrid schedule where maybe you go in a couple of days a week, you know, I think it's a lot better. And, you know, maybe I'm biased since I do most of my work on the internet or school or whatever. But I think, you know, it has a lot of potential, makes people a lot happier. You know, they're not as stressed having to go in to make that commute to work and everything. You know, they get to kind of relax in their own space and work on there.
No, because here's the thing. So at my internship right now, a lot of my coworkers, they're either working from home fully or hybrid. It's, you know, to be honest with you, it's mostly just the interns that are there like all the time, which makes sense because like we don't have that level of clearance yet. But
you probably don't have the workload either.
Yeah, and which is fair. And plus, like, they need to make sure that we're you know, and to be fair to them, like they got to make sure we're doing like our work and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and you want to get the most out of what you're doing too, you know.
Yeah, I think there's definitely something Yeah, going in to like the physical office or the physical school, there's definitely something to be said for the value that you can get from being face to face with somebody. I mean, like on Zoom, like I can see your face, but there's like body language and things that you can't tell. So I think a hybrid schedule is the way to go. I think that's what a lot of people are going to be doing moving forwards.
Exactly. And considering, commuting expenses, and also like for some people it's just easier because some people might be in a situation where like they can't afford, whether it's money wise or time wise, or they could like have like, for example, kids in the house they need to take care of. So they might not like be able to afford to go to the office every day. So a hybrid schedule, like you said, is best.
So on the topic of changing jobs, I'm gonna take over your host privileges for a second, Nate. You got to pass me the controls on Zoom too. What would be your dream job? Maybe you already have it now, but or in Utah law, what's your dream job? If money wasn't an object and you could just do whatever you wanted.
Honestly,
That's a good one.
Think
I'd
about
say
it.
somewhere
that's a good one.
along the lines of like, podcasting, professionally, or being a devoted author, something I like, or even just public speaking, with motivational speaking. That's something I'd love to do at some point, and I think I'd be great at it. I think that would be cool because you get to make like a more direct impact on people that way, I think. And it keeps you creative. It keeps the creative side of your mind working and stuff like that.
Honestly, wow, this is actually really tough. But okay, so would you say that like dream job, but like you learn the skills with it? So like that's, or
Yeah.
is it something you have to just be good at now?
No,
I would say you can learn the
learn
skills. Yeah, I don't. It's not something you have to be like right now. It's something you could grow into.
Okay, so this is kind of unexpected for
You
Nate
gotta
because
get
he
good at
he knew me
something
for a
first,
while.
too.
Yeah, honestly, I'd love to become a chef,
Oh wow.
a
Yeah, that's
professional
a good
chef.
shout. Honestly, I could get behind that. I could
Yeah,
get behind that.
could I see? Here's the thing, and I'm not saying I'm like the best out there by any means at all, but it's like for me, because I was just talking about this to a coworker yesterday, and we were like saying we both agree on this, and not everybody does this, but like for us, like cooking is basically, it's not something I do just to like eat to survive kind of thing. It's like this is a whole process. It's like an
It's
art.
an art.
Exactly. So, and I like, and when it comes to cooking, everything has to be like in a certain mood, a certain like way. So it's like the lighting, the music. It's a, you enjoy what you're doing basically. Because like I've had people ask me, when you cook, like how long do you spend? I was like, oh, like prepping, cooking, like getting everything ready, all that, it could easily take north of 1.5, 2 hours. And they're like, why would you do that? All the things you could be doing. But I'm like, here's the thing, like if I want to like cook because like I'm just hungry, period, I could easily whip up something in like 10 to 15 minutes, no problem. But like this is just quality time. Does that make sense? It's a whole mood, basically.
He's also got to make sure the dogs upstairs like the food. Otherwise, they'll be barking
Listen,
on his door.
I'm glad you brought that up because some of the guys that I've known here, they came over and they heard like, okay, so upstairs, my neighbor has these two freaking units of a dog, just behemoths. And like, here's the thing, they're so big, you can hear them walk. When they walk around, you hear the steps they take. And the only reason, like, it's like, oh, like, why would you assume and stuff? No, like, I've seen them walk by, and they're not supposed to be that big. They are unnaturally big. No dog should be
Bro,
that
what did they
big.
do to you, bro? You sound traumatized.
Bro, no, they didn't do anything. It's just like they're so big, like they made me stop midway, and I was like, I can't cross paths with these dogs. Like they're like, even like the way they're standing, bro. Like if he like stood on two legs, he could easily be taller than me. Easily. He could easily be taller than me. Like, it's just massive, like, oh my God. And if when they bark, it's not like they bark with bass, bro. They bark with their chest every time. And I remember, so my first week here, I kind of just I got used to it. I gave up. I got used to it now. But my first week here, without fail, every day, they bark for at least 5 minutes. Nonstop. I can't make this up. At least 5 minutes.
That's not bad. That is not bad. 5 minutes is not bad.
No, oh yeah, if it's a regular like golden
No,
retriever
it's a
barking,
regular-
whatever. But these people, they're like, it's not a bark, it's like a woof, it's like a proper like, like, yeah. And here's the thing, like when you go on for that long, you get sick and tired of it. So I remember, like, what was it, the third or fourth day, I stood like right there. For those listening to the audio, I'm pointing to the spot I stood at, and I literally, because the ceilings are so high, I can't, even if I double jump, I can't make it to the ceiling. So it's like, it's impossible for me to like tap the ceiling. So I just looked up, and at the top of my lungs, I yelled at them to shut up. It worked for a minute. And then they went right back to how they were.
Keep going, bro. You have to keep
Bro,
going. You're gonna shout once and then they shut up. You gotta keep piling it on. You gotta assert dominance over the building.
No,
You gotta yell for 5 minutes straight.
Facts.
Like,
Yell for 5 minutes straight, and I bet that works.
You're such
Yeah.
a beta to law.
See,
honestly.
no,
you need to
like,
like get
listen,
in the alpha mindset and be a
that would
dog.
be perfect advice until I saw those two creatures. They're not even dogs, bro. It can't be a dog. It's a mini bear. It's basically
Send me a picture. Send me a picture later.
If I cross into them again, and I hope to
Watch,
God
they're
I
just
don't,
little
I will.
chihuahuas. And make a big deal out of it.
You can easily drop kick them. Nah, bro, nah. It's like, trust me on this. These guys are massive, and I hope I never see them again. But if I do, I will send you a picture for sure.
This is why Talal's glad he doesn't work from home, because they just ruin his day. Honestly,
It's tough. It's tough. But like my neighbor on the same floor, a couple doors down, he has a dog, but it's a normal dog. Like, it's a regular sized. It's a proper dog. Yeah, it's a normal dog. And I see him walk by. I'm like, hi, buddy. And then he's all nice. But like those two people, they're people. Those two people upstairs, it's not normal. There's no dog should be that big. I don't know where the guy or girl got those dogs from, and I don't want to know. We were talking about business and jobs, and
we let it go off on a 10. That's all right, though. That's all right, though.
I just had to get that off my chest real quick. Thank you for listening, guys. I appreciate that.
So when am I gonna get to try the food? You're gonna get into cooking, or is that something are you like pursuing that, or that question kind of just?
No, it's just something I really enjoy doing.
hold on. Keep talking, but I have something for Isaiah that he has not yet experienced.
It's just something I enjoy doing. Like, I try my best to even like explore. So it's like, I'm not following a strict recipe. It's kind of just I just do whatever. Yeah, I need to get me a chef hat.
Chef Nate. Okay.
Yeah, so
With the bright fluorescent red hat on.
Right.
It was the only one they had, and in my defense, I started a cooking series on my YouTube channel. Did one video. It was the first video, and I haven't done one since. And I got this hat because I said I would, and I haven't done anything yet. So that'll be coming soon, hopefully, if I can ever stay in place long enough.
But you got to use that, bro. If you're mobile, the mobile chef.
Oh, I could do some like mystery recipes or something like that.
Come on, bro. Cooking on the road. I'm giving you the title right now. Cooking on the road.
I'm gonna note that down.
Yeah, and write that down, bro. I'm giving gems away. On the pod right now.
Cooking on the road with Chef Nate.
Yeah,
Got it.
I'm here for it all.
So what would your dream job be?
See, I knew it was gonna come back around to me.
Oh yeah, I got follow-up questions.
I want to start an NBA franchise. So for a long time, I've wanted to like buy a team, but I think starting something new would be really good. And the league's been looking at doing expansion for a while. I know that's a big one. Teams are costing $2 billion
Yeah,
plus.
that's a hefty goal right there.
That's a yeah. I figured it'd be a little bit more economical to start one than to buy one.
So,
But yeah, I think, go ahead.
what would the team mascot be? Where would you be based out of?
I mean, it's looking like LeBron's probably gonna have one in Vegas when he retires. On the barbershop they were talking about that. But I would say, hey, maybe Pittsburgh. I mean, why not? I mean, Philly and Cleveland have one, so why not keep it in the hometown?
I was gonna say Pittsburgh doesn't actually have a major league team, do they?
No. I think he can go. I know it
That
can
could-
happen. We're gonna speak it into existence. But
We're just
yeah,
gonna
I mean,
build a franchise together. I'd be in.
facts. You're gonna get on it early. We can be part owner. But yeah, I think that would be really interesting. I mean, because I love sports, I love basketball and just competing. And with the job that I have now, I'm getting a lot of valuable skills. So I think that's what I would go with. I mean, maybe it'll change. I mean, dreams change, but for now, that's where I'm setting my sights at.
That's interesting. That's pretty. You gotta get some really. You gotta have some good connections to make that happen.
Facts. That is the major part of it. It's not what you know, it's who you know.
Easy. Just go to like some event where all the ballers go. Talk it up. Easy.
Dubai.
Yeah.
Big episode over there.
Just go there, talk things up. Maybe go to like the Grand Prix in Monaco. Be like, yo, just go from yacht to yacht. Be like, hey,
Yo, yacht to yacht. That's a great idea. That is a great idea. I'm just gonna swim over. Be like, yo, listen, I have this great idea. Logo, and just pitch it.
Hey man, I actually fell off this boat earlier. It took me a long time to catch up, man.
Yeah, I was definitely here. Like, I definitely didn't just come from that other boat over there. I definitely was here and then just fell off. You just didn't remember.
Interesting.
So, what are some of the hurdles, in your opinion, when transitioning from jobs, not just from job to job? Because every job has its different pay structures and bonus structures and everything like that. Like, how do you feel about, say hourly to salary, or hourly to commission, or a mix of any of those variables?
I would say for me, the last job that I had was it was a mix actually. It was hourly with commission, and then my current job, it's 100% commission based. So on that front, I would say just making sure that you have your finances and your budget in place, because things will fluctuate up and down, but if you can just keep a solid baseline of how much you're spending, that would be the first thing. And then outside of just the financial aspect, I would say like the people, just getting to know like the office politics is something that's really important, and just establishing like that relationship currency, and that performance currency, like as soon as you get in there, just so you can start moving up to where you want to be, is the two major hurdles, I would say.
I gotcha. And I think that's something important to, consider, especially when you're switching job to job. Like, I've switched, I'm in my third job in the past year now. And I know that's something, like, I'm very picky when I pick jobs, to even apply for. I'm very picky with how I do it. Because it's you don't want to be losing anywhere. You want to move laterally or upwards, right? You don't want to set yourself back if you don't have to. And I think there's something to take into consideration. Like currently I work salary with monthly fixed bonus added onto that. But when I'm looking at the promotion offers I've been given, okay, now am I going to be moving back to hourly? Is it going to stay salary? What's the bonus structure look like? Do I have a couple of different options with that bonus structure. Like say I take a sales coordinator position, I can either take a store bonus based on the quota, and that's only if we meet that store meets quotas. And they can just meet the quota, or they can do a super, which they go above and beyond that quota to a certain level. Or I can take a percentage of what those salesmen do. So that's another thing you need to consider with those roles. And I think, a difference between all the positions, especially in my company. So it's not even necessarily a job to job thing. It's a position to position.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at promotions and stuff, because I've had several offers and I've only really liked one of them. And I think that's something, you just got to kind of take a look at. And it's also, would I actually be interested in this position? Like,
yeah, yeah, being interested in it is definitely like the main thing. And especially like early career professionals like us, if you're only like a couple years like out of school, or you're still in school, or like this is your first like official professional job, finding something that's not just for the financial benefit, but something that you're passionate about, like I said earlier. And I want to say the relationship and performance currency, that's actually something from a book I read recently called Strategize to Win. It's by Carla Harris. If you're moving jobs, or like just interested in like shifting seats, as she would say, in your current position, then that's a really good pickup, a really good read I would recommend if you're looking for anything in that realm.
And also, this is a quick tip. It's like a little bit of a side note, but it's still really related to like switching jobs. The best advice I could give, and I noticed a major difference once I implemented this, is once you get to like your new job, try to meet everybody and like have like a proper conversation with them. Because like in my last job, I kind of did that, but because we were all students, we all kind of just bonded together anyway. But here, it's a much more professional environment, and everybody is like older than I am. So when I took the time to like schedule one-on-ones with all of them, I noticed a lot of things changed with how I was treated. And when I say that, it's not like I was treated in a bad way. It's like how I was treated in a sense where it's like everybody like is including me in like events that's going on. They're inviting me to outings, even meetings that I have no business being into, but they're like, hey, why don't you just tag along? You would learn a lot here and there. And even like, and I feel like once you get into that mindset, it's almost like I want to see how far I can keep climbing up. So my best advice is just like meet with everybody you can, for sure. Because even when in the office, when it's like, instead of just being like, hey, like whatever name they are, and like that's it. When you ask about like something that they're doing, or something they're working on, or their family, you have that sense of like a deeper connection, and they appreciate that a lot. And it just improves the office environment in general, really.
I think that's something like you definitely notice it whenever you get into a professional career. Which I actually like that you take the time to actually schedule like one-on-ones. That's awesome. I love that, and I might actually start doing that. But like a lot of times, like the big thing I noticed, since I work at the corporate store, you have people coming down from corporate all the time, and the big thing I noticed is, one, it's always just a good idea just to introduce yourself to everybody as much as you can whenever you get into a new organization or workplace or whatever. But they do not go out of their way to introduce themselves to you. Like they will not look at you twice if they don't have a reason to. And that's something, you kind of go out of your way and kind of stop for a second and be like, hey, this is my name, this is my position. I've seen you a few times or whatever. And just kind of actually like get to know them, not even just like what they do and what they're doing, but like as a person, just try and get to know them and connect with them a little bit. Like I've done that with a couple area managers and stuff, and regional managers. I spent some time talking to our CFO here about a month ago in Indianapolis. They stopped in. And so I think like it's good to actually like, I know you're supposed to be working, but even just taking a second and introducing yourself and getting your foot in those doors and establishing those relationships, because it gets your name out there, especially whenever you're in bigger companies too. You know, that's one advantage I have being close to corporate. I can meet as many of those people as I can and expand my doors and open as many opportunities as I possibly can.
Yes, relationships are key for sure.
Absolutely. Networking is number one. And the thing is, like, I bet we all heard that advice before, but it's like you never know the true value of it until it's like you get into a real professional workspace. And then you're like, okay, this really, really does matter. And especially like you mentioned, Nate, with like executives, they don't have, they're always hustling. They're always going someplace. They're always doing, so like, it's not like they don't like you. It's just like they don't have the time to introduce themselves. But they definitely will remember if you took the time to like introduce yourself and like make an impact. They will remember that for sure.
Yes.
And here's something too, like even if you notice that they're like busy, like sometimes, like especially in my position, you got to kind of read the room sometimes.
Yeah,
managers and stuff. But even if you like notice that they're busy or they're kind of in a rush, just be like, hey, you know, introduce yourself and be like, hey, if you get a minute at some point today before you leave or whatever, I'd like to sit down and have a chat. You know, even something like that, to just like establish that, hey, you want to take the time to get to know them and establish that relationship. And that stands out to them because most people are scared to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I would say another thing, like just to piggyback off of that, once you meet them, like send a follow-up email like that day or the next day, just to kind of open up that line of communication, because you don't know when you're going to see them again, or you might be doing something when they come in. But if you have their email and phone number, you just open that line of communication up. That can be huge, just to have that second connection with them.
And that's a really good point, because actually the first promotion interview I did about 2 months in was for our purchasing department at corporate. And I didn't get it. They wanted someone who'd been in the company more time, which is completely understandable. Had nothing to do with me, nothing I could do about it. But I heard about it while I was back out on another trip. And I sent this guy an email. He gave me his business card and everything. And I was like, hey, I heard you made a decision. You know, thanks for taking the time to let me interview and hear me out and everything. And, you know, he was like, okay, yeah, it was great. And he actually gave me a call and we're like, we absolutely loved you and everything. He's like, unfortunately, it just doesn't fit our needs at the time. He said, but if something changes by the end of the year, we'll be in touch. So it never hurts to, follow up on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, unfortunately, we are almost out of time. We have a couple episodes running up right now. So definitely look forward to that part. But yeah, you guys have anything else to say?
I want to say thanks for having me on. It's been a long time coming, and like actually being on here, I've listened to you guys' podcast for a little bit now, and I listened to a few episodes the week before I came on, and I found myself almost sitting back, like feeling like I'm in an episode. It's kind of surreal to like hear the voices while I'm doing stuff all day, and now I'm in the conversation. So I just want to say thanks for having me on, and this definitely won't be the last time.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.
All right.
We'll see you guys next time.
Next time.
Easy.